Hello, my dear friends. Welcome back to the channel. I hope you're having a great day. If you're here, that means you love learning English while exploring the stories of great personalities who shaped history. Today, we'll talk about one of the most influential leaders in history, Mahatma Gandhi. A man who led his country to freedom not with weapons, but with peace, truth, and determination. Mahatma Gandhi was born on October 2, 1869, in a small town called Porbandar, which is now in Gujarat, India. His full name was Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi, but later, he was given the title Mahatma, meaning great soul, because of his inspiring leadership. Gandhi grew up in a traditional Hindu family. His father, Karamchand Gandhi, was a respected political leader, serving as the Dewan, chief minister, of Porbandar. His mother, Putlabai Gandhi, was deeply religious and followed a simple lifestyle, often fasting and praying. She had a strong influence on young Mohandas, teaching him values of self-discipline, truth, and compassion. As a child, Mohandas was shy and quiet. He was afraid of the dark and ghosts, but he was also deeply curious and eager to learn. He enjoyed listening to stories from Indian epics like the Ramayana and the Mahabharata, which shaped his ideas about truth and righteousness. At the age of 13, he was married to Kasturba Gandhi, a girl of the same age. Child marriage was common in India at that time. Though he was too young to understand marriage, he later realized that his wife played a crucial role in his personal growth and journey toward leadership. She was strong-willed, supportive, and played a vital role in his struggles for justice. Gandhi completed his early education in Gujarat before deciding to pursue a career in law. At the age of 18, in 1888, he left for London, England, to study law at the University College London. This was the beginning of a new phase in his life, one that would shape his future. When Gandhi arrived in London, he faced many challenges. He had grown up in a traditional Indian society, so adjusting to British culture was difficult. He had to learn proper English etiquette, Western dressing styles, and new ways of socializing. In the beginning, he struggled with self-doubt and homesickness. However, he quickly adapted, determined to succeed in his law studies. He joined the Inner Temple, one of the 4 prestigious law colleges in England. There, he studied subjects like British law, ethics, and public speaking. While in London, Gandhi was deeply influenced by different religious and philosophical teachings. He read Hindu scriptures, the Bible, and Islamic texts, and he was particularly drawn to the teachings of Leo Tolstoy and John Ruskin, who believed in nonviolence, simplicity, and equality. During his stay, Gandhi also embraced vegetarianism. Initially, it was because of his mother's teachings, but later, he became involved in the London Vegetarian Society, where he met people who introduced him to new ideas on morality, ethics, and spirituality. After 3 years of hard work and dedication, Gandhi completed his law degree in 1891 and returned to India. However, his legal career did not go as planned. Despite being qualified, he was too nervous to argue cases in court, and he struggled to establish himself. At this moment of uncertainty, an opportunity arose. He was offered a job in South Africa to help a businessman with legal matters. This journey, which he believed would last only 1 year, turned into one of the most defining periods of his life. In 1893, at the age of 24, Gandhi traveled to South Africa, a country under British colonial rule. He soon realized that Indians and people of color were treated unfairly and discriminated against. One of the most defining moments of Gandhi's life occurred when he was traveling by train from Durban to Pretoria. Even though he had a valid first-class ticket, a white passenger complained, and Gandhi was forced to leave the compartment because of his race. When he refused to move, he was thrown off the train at a remote station in the cold, dark night. Sitting at the railway station, Gandhi thought deeply. He realized that this injustice was not just about him, it was about all Indians and oppressed people in South Africa. He decided that he could not remain silent. This event sparked his commitment to fighting for justice, but through nonviolent means. Over the next 21 years, Gandhi organized protests and fought against unfair laws in South Africa. Some of his major efforts included 1. The burning of passes, in protest against laws requiring Indians to carry special identification passes. Gandhi led a nonviolent protest where people burned their passes in defiance. 2. Establishing the Tolstoy Farm, Gandhi set up a self-sufficient community where Indians could live simply, work together, and follow principles of truth and nonviolence. 3. March against discrimination. In 1913, he led thousands of peaceful marchers to protest discriminatory laws. His leadership caught global attention. During his time in South Africa, Gandhi was arrested multiple times, but instead of breaking his spirit, each arrest made him stronger. His philosophy of satyagraha, truth force, became a powerful weapon. In 1915, after successfully fighting for Indian rights in South Africa, he returned to India. But this was just the beginning of his biggest fight, the struggle for India's independence. When Gandhi returned to India in 1915, he was already a well-known leader due to his work in South Africa. However, he did not immediately start political movements. Instead, he traveled across the country for the next few years, visiting villages, talking to farmers, and understanding the struggles of ordinary people. He realized that India's problems were not just about British rule but also about poverty, inequality, and the suffering of the common people. India at that time was still under British colonial rule, and life was difficult for most people. Farmers were heavily taxed, workers were paid very little, and Indian businesses suffered under British economic policies. Gandhi knew that fighting for independence was not just about removing British rule, but also about uplifting the poor and empowering the people. His first major campaign in India happened in Champaran, Bihar, in 1917. The British forced farmers to grow indigo, a plant used to make blue dye, instead of food crops. Despite their hard work, the farmers were paid very little and were suffering from hunger and extreme poverty. When Gandhi arrived in Champaran, the British authorities tried to stop him from helping the farmers, but he refused to leave. Instead, he gathered evidence, spoke to villagers, and encouraged them to stand up peacefully against injustice. This movement was successful, and for the first time, British authorities were forced to change their unfair policies. This victory gave Gandhi confidence that nonviolent resistance could bring real change. In 1920, he launched the non-cooperation movement, one of his biggest campaigns. He encouraged Indians to 1. Boycott British goods, stop buying British clothes, tea, and products. 2. Resign from British jobs, quit working for the British government. 3. withdraw from British schools, encouraged children to study in Indian-run institutions. Millions of Indians joined the movement, making it one of the most powerful independence struggles. However, when some protests turned violent, Gandhi called off the movement, proving his commitment to nonviolence. Gandhi's next major protest was the Salt March of 1930. At that time, the British controlled the production and sale of salt, making it expensive for common people. Gandhi led a 240-mile march from his ashram to the coastal village of Dandi, where he picked up a handful of salt from the shore, breaking the British law. This simple act of defiance became a powerful symbol of resistance and inspired millions of Indians to stand against British rule. In 1942, during World War II, Gandhi launched the Quit India movement, demanding that the British leave India immediately. His slogan was "Do or Die," urging Indians to fight for independence with peaceful determination. The British responded by arresting Gandhi and thousands of other leaders, but this movement created massive pressure on the British government. Finally, after years of struggle and sacrifices, India gained independence on August 15, 1947. However, this moment of victory was accompanied by great pain, the partition of India and Pakistan. This division led to widespread violence between Hindus and Muslims, something Gandhi deeply opposed. Even after independence, Gandhi worked tirelessly to bring peace between the two communities. He traveled to violence-affected areas, urging people to stop fighting and live in harmony. His message was simple: we are all children of the same God, why should we fight? Even though India gained independence, Gandhi believed that his mission was not over. He continued to work for peace, equality, and social justice. He focused on removing caste discrimination, improving education, and empowering the poor. His vision for India was not just about political freedom, but also about building a just and compassionate society. Gandhi's ideas of nonviolence and truth did not just influence India, they inspired leaders all over the world. Some of the most famous people who followed his teachings include 1. Martin Luther King Jr., USA. He led the civil rights movement in America using nonviolent protests, inspired by Gandhi's philosophy. 2. Nelson Mandela, South Africa. He fought against racial discrimination, apartheid, and believed in Gandhi's approach to peaceful resistance. 3. Cesar Chavez, USA, a labor leader who fought for farmworkers' rights using nonviolence. Gandhi's principles of peace, love, and nonviolence are still studied and followed in many parts of the world today. His belief in self-reliance also encouraged people to use local goods instead of relying on foreign products. The movement for hand-spun cotton, khadi, which he started, is still promoted in India as a symbol of self-sufficiency. Even today, Gandhi's face appears on all Indian currency notes as a tribute to his role as the father of the nation. The values he stood for, truth, simplicity, humility, and kindness, continue to inspire people across generations. However, not everyone agreed with Gandhi's ideals. Some people believed he made too many compromises in his effort to bring peace between Hindus and Muslims. This led to one of the most tragic moments in India's history, Gandhi's assassination. On January 30, 1948, just a few months after India's independence, Mahatma Gandhi was assassinated in Delhi. He was on his way to a prayer meeting when he was shot by Nathuram Godse, a man who opposed his policies. Gandhi fell to the ground, and his last words were "Hey Ram, O God." His death shocked the entire world. Millions of people in India and across the globe mourned the loss of a leader who stood for peace and unity. His funeral was attended by millions of people, and his ashes were immersed in the holy river Ganges as per Hindu traditions. Even though he was gone, his ideas and teachings lived on. His message of nonviolence, truth, and justice continues to be relevant, and his influence can still be seen in movements for human rights and freedom across the world. One, nonviolence is the strongest weapon. You do not need violence to bring change. Truth and peace are more powerful. 2. Stay true to your principles, even when others criticize or oppose you. Never abandon your beliefs. 3. Small actions can lead to big changes. Gandhi started with small steps, but his actions transformed a nation. 4. Simplicity and kindness bring true happiness. He showed that material wealth is not needed to live a meaningful life. 5. Never give up, no matter how hard the journey. If you believe in a cause, keep fighting for it. Thank you for listening to the story of Mahatma Gandhi. His life is proof that one person can change the world through truth, determination, and love. Which part of his story inspired you the most? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this, like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more inspiring stories. See you next time.